Hello everybody, and welcome back to the channel. This is All the Mods 10, a mod pack that contains pretty much every single mod. And judging by all the craziness happening in the background, I can already tell that this playthrough is gonna be very interesting and definitely a lot of fun. If you're as excited as I am for this new playthrough, hit the like button and subscribe. It helps out the channel a ton and lets me know that you guys are also interested in this content. And I'm just going to start off quickly by looking through all the different kinds of mods that we have in this mod pack. Obviously it doesn't contain every single mod, but it does contain an absolute ton. We've got actually additions, looks like all the wizard, interesting, and then I believe that this is all the mods with just sort of more like magic based stats and stuff. We'll get into that stuff later. Of course, we have Apotheosis, which I believe has received a new update since last I played with it. Applied Energistics, which is an inventory management system, which is definitely something we're going to need a lot of, as there are a ton of items in this mod pack. Aquaculture, we'll probably not mess around with this too much, but yeah, there's a ton of new fish here and a new fishing system. Ars Nouveau, which is my favorite magic mod. Bibliocraft, which is definitely interesting that we have this now. It's mostly just a decoration mod if I remember correctly, but yeah, I used to play with this mod a ton back in the day. And judging by the looks of it, we have variations for pretty much every single new item in the game. We have the chipped mod in here as well. That adds some extra sort of decoration block, as well as chisel, which adds even more variations. One notable thing here as well is the comforts mod, which adds sleeping bags, which we'll definitely need. Looks like we also have compact machines, which I'll definitely get into that mod. We have cooking for blockheads, the create mod, which is my personal favorite mod. And I could sit here and just keep listing out mods. Obviously, we had only hit the C's, and there was already a ton. So instead of just listing out all the mods, let's go ahead and get started with our playthrough and actually experience these mods for ourselves. Now, I pretty much just loaded into this world, and yeah, I saw everything going on in the background here. This world is really, really cool looking. Looks like there's a village over in this direction, so I think I'll head this way first. But I definitely want to explore off in this direction as soon as I can. And the first building we see here is a nice little house. And of course we do have the looter mod in this mod pack, which adds sort of individually instanced loot crates and chests. So if you're playing on a server or something, everybody can actually have their own loot from these types of chests. It looks like we have some interesting loot here so far. An irons, gems, and jewelry Peridot Tearstone ring. And that looks like it grants immunity to poison. So I'll go ahead and equip that. Looks like I can't just right-click it, but I should be able to put it in one of my ring slots here. And we've already got our first diamond. That's pretty good. And not much else up here. Just some books and some seeds. But I am going to go ahead and take one of these beds, as I kind of want to keep exploring the world. I don't think I'm going to hang out too much in this first village here. Ooh, and there's a ton of copper right here, so if we ever need that, yeah, definitely remind me to come back here. And I've just stumbled upon something a little bit strange here. Yeah, Kelly. Hello? Uh-oh. Oh, okay. Alright, no thank you. No thank you. Oh gosh, oh gosh. I have no weapons and no way to fight him off, so I'm just gonna run. Hopefully I can get away with running. If not, I might have to just let him kill me. He's still coming after me. Alright, I'm gonna hide in the side of this house just for some safety. He definitely looks mad at me still. Alright, oh, it looks like we got an artifact, an angler's hat. Hold left shift to research, and that'll bring up a menu here. And it looks like in order to get the benefits from this, we'll need to research it. So let's try and research. Costs 50 player experience points. I don't think we have any experience points. Okay. Yeah, I'm not too sure about this. I'll have to do a little bit more research into this mod. Also, I definitely just saw the floor. Oh gosh. Oh, he is mad. He's still mad. Oh, we got a covered wagon. Let's see. Oh yeah. He's destroying this house. Let's keep moving. I'm gonna steal some potatoes here as I'm running away. Oh, apparently we can place sticks. Oh, I thought that was a Botania flower, but it's not. Alright, I don't see that guy on my map anymore, but that doesn't mean he isn't still after us. We do have some zombies on our tail now. Oh, another explosion. I think he's still after us. For now, though, I'm just gonna go ahead and... Oh, I see him on the maps. Oh, he's coming. I'm gonna just keep running. Oh, jeez. Alright. Okay. I might die here. I'm definitely dead. I had just started to dig down into the ground and turned around, and there was a giant fireball there, so... yeah, that's unfortunate. First death within the first couple minutes of this world, but that's alright. It's not like we're playing on hardcore or anything, so let me go and try to recover my body. And it looks like this guy is back here now, so... yeah, I don't think he's gonna bother us anymore. Yeah, he definitely left a giant hole in the ground, so... let me try to recover that, and I think I'm gonna run back to the village. Actually, I could probably sleep first. Here we go. Alright, so I've just made my first crafting table, and I'm about to make an iron pickaxe. And I'm actually gonna start to gather some resources here. I'm gonna head underground and see what I can find. I've kind of chosen a random place. Hopefully there's some good stuff here. If not, we can just keep going down and trying to get some diamonds at least. And before I do that, I actually want to see what I can all get from this supply camp. I think right here is a pretty good area to set it up. Hopefully I can actually place it down here. Engraved on stone, that is a lot of words here. I am just going to, I'll select a style. And I think I'll go for Incan. This is by Raycoms, John Ryher, and some add-ons. So let's go ahead and place our supply camp. It does look like we get the choice of where to put it. I don't exactly know how to change where it goes. Oh, there we go. We use the the arrow keys, not WASD. Hopefully that should be good, and there we go. It automatically builds for us, and I'm pretty sure that these come with, yeah, some supplies. You can see there's some potatoes, rabbit, and wheat here. There's some saplings over there. A chest with a town hall and a build tool. So this is from the Mine Colonies mod, which will allow us to actually build an entire colony. I'm not entirely sure if I do want to go down that route yet. But yeah, having this supply camp here is definitely a huge help, as we don't exactly need to build our own little starter base. We just kind of have it here. And the main reason I did this is because my inventory is completely full of random junk, mostly seeds. So yeah, hopefully we can get rid of some of the stuff. Also, in case you were wondering, we do have the, I believe this is FTB Ultimine mod in. So I have mine reassigned to, I believe it's mouse 5 button. By default, it is the tilde key. And what this mod allows you to do is just mine most of the blocks in an area, just kind of like how I did with that. And yeah, it's a lot faster than manually mining each block. And by the way, we also do have the crafting on a stick mod, which allows you to craft things on a stick. Basically, it's an item instead of actually having to go to a crafting table. And I'm just making a few chests here. That way we can have a little bit of a supply room going on here. And the last thing I want to do before going down to the mines is get some of these saplings planted. Especially these spruce saplings because I just really like how they look. And yeah, I definitely want to build with those. And yeah, I guess I'm ready to start heading down to the mines. I'll probably do a little montage here as I collect things, and then we'll come back. Alright, I've done a decent amount of mining, and as you can see, we have a ton of raw ores now, so I'm going to go ahead and smelt these up. I have sort of already melted up some of this iron, and you might have also noticed that I have a ton of andesite in my inventory, and that's because as soon as I am able to, I want to start with the create mod. It'll help us out a ton in the early game, and I just noticed that rainbow in the background there. That's pretty cool. And speaking of getting started with things, I am going to go ahead and open, that is the map. What I meant to do was open up the quest log. So yes, this mod pack does have a ton of quests in it. And I'm just going to go ahead and go through each of the different ones here. This is just sort of the welcome sort of page here. If you click this button in the top right, that'll actually open up all of your rewards, but I don't quite want to do that yet. So as you can see, if you open up the left-hand panel of your quest log, there is a ton of mods here. Ton of quests, I should say, and mods. But yeah, we have the welcome page, that's the one we're on right now. The bounty page, which you can sort of go through and basically as you kill enemies, it'll unlock more and more things here. Getting you some pretty decent rewards. These are sort of random rewards here. So you could possibly get something like a netherite ingot, upgrade, sorry. We also have building tips, which yeah, we've had a few quests completed from here. We can get started from the beginning here. And we get an oak sapling, not too great. Some sticks. stone from this one, stone cobblestone, a chisel from the chipped mod, which allows you to change certain blocks into decorative blocks. We got dirt, logs, etc., etc. So this is sort of the decorations sort of quest panel, as you can see with the decorations quest there. Next, we have the tips and tricks sort of page here. As you can see, I did craft a crafting table on a stick. And I guess we have all of the crafting stations here as well. So if we ever want to do that, we can go ahead and do that as well. Next up, we have the main quest line. This is chapter 1. This sort of walks you through sort of the vanilla progression of the game. Then after you've completed and killed the warden, you can go through all the modium quests. These sort of start during the beginning quests, but as you kind of go, you sort of unlock different ores. Eventually, we'll be able to make all the modium gear, which is super overpowered. Next up, we have all the mods star, which yeah, is sort of the end goal of this mod pack, and that's to create all the mod stars. Of course, there is an absolute ton of prerequisites for crafting all the mod star. And eventually, with all the mod stars, we can actually start getting into sort of the creative stuff. Basically getting infinite power, infinite sort of spells from Ars Nouveau, etc., etc. Yeah, this stuff will be completely broken in the end game, so hopefully we'll be able to get to that. We also have the artifacts, basic armor, basic tools, Mahao Tsukai, I don't know if that's exactly how you pronounce it, relics, and silent gear. We have storage, basic storage, and applied energistic. We have logistics, which is sort of just transporting items from different places. The different resources, eventually we will be able to farm for food. Mob drops using the Hostile Neural Networks mod, which is actually a ton of fun. Mystical agriculture allows you to farm various different resources using, well, agriculture basically. We also have bees, which does the same thing, just with bees. And productive trees, which I'm assuming does the same as that, just with different trees. In terms of tech mods, of course, we have the create mod, we have immersive engineering, industrial foregoing, just dire things, which is a mod that I have not even heard of. Mechanism, of course, pneumatic craft, railcraft, and Zycraft. I've never played with Zycraft before, so I'm interested to see how that goes. In terms of the modern industrialization, we have the steam age, electric age, and eventually the nuclear age. We have the power mod in this, of course, which is basically nuclear reactors. It's same thing with extreme reactors. On the magic end of things, we have the Apothic Enchanting mod, Ars Nouveau, Evilcraft, Forbidden and Arcanus, Iron Spells, Nature's Aura, Occultism, and Theurgy. And finally, we have Exploration with the Cataclysm mod, which adds a ton of new boss enemies as well as items. Eternal Starlight, which is a mod I have not played with before. The Bumble Zone, which is a new dimension that is focused around bees. Twilight Forest, which I'm pretty sure everybody's heard of Twilight Forest. And the Undergarden, which is a mod that I have not touched before, but I think it's similar to Twilight Forest. Oh, and that was a mouthful. Now that we've actually gone through and explained all the mods, I am just going to click that and completely fill my inventory, I bet, with new stuff. Yep, it's in a pile right there. I'm just gonna clean out my inventory real quick, and now I can collect all of my rewards. And by collecting those rewards, I did unlock a bunch of new quests as well, so that's definitely something you got to get used to in this mod pack. We're gonna get a ton of rewards, and sometimes those rewards unlock other rewards, and the cycle continues just like that. And as I mentioned earlier, I think I mentioned this anyway, the mod that I want to get started with first, and probably the most important one to actually start with early game, is the Create mod. And as you can kind of tell from the quest log, the Create mod adds an absolute ton of new items to the game, new processes, and of course, a ton of machines that allow you to, well, pretty much do anything that you want. There was also a new update to the Create mod that adds transportation around your factory. I kind of want to get into this. I've never really checked it out before, so it might be interesting to do. But for now, we're not even to the factory part of this. We got to get started with creating andesite alloy. Andesite alloy is the backbone of the Create mod. It's used in pretty much every single recipe, and in order to craft it, all we need is iron nuggets and andesite. Starting off, it is 2 andesite and 2 iron nuggets to create 1. However, once we get started with the mod, we can actually do a recipe that only requires 1 andesite and 1 iron nugget. So as soon as we're able to do that, we definitely should. And we can also use zinc for this recipe as well. Now, we don't have as much zinc as we do iron, so we'll probably end up using a combination of the two. But going forward, I definitely want to use zinc for this, as zinc has fewer uses than iron does. And eventually we should be able to automate zinc. We can do iron as well. If we crush tough, we should be able to get iron and zinc. And I was looking for a way to make tough automatically. But as far as I can tell, there's no easy way to do so. I suppose what we could do is get into mystical agriculture and combine stone with fire essence. But I don't really want to get into mystical agriculture right away. It is something we should do early game. By the way, there is a wandering trader here. Ooh, that is a very nice chest plate. Unfortunately, I don't have a diamond chest plate or 55 emeralds. Yeah, unfortunately, not a lot we can do. Now, I'm curious if they've added... I think it was with shears. There's a new update in Minecraft that allows you to shear the leads off of these guys. Unfortunately, though, it looks like we're going to have to go old school with this. And it was so kind of that wandering trader to leave us some leads and some leather. Also, somehow my alignment has decreased by -10. I'm not sure how that exactly happened. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and get started with crafting our andesite alloy. Basically, I'm just going to craft some zinc nuggets and andesite and combine them into our andesite alloy. Should be able to accept the quest for that, and that does give us 8 andesite alloy as well, which is very useful. So the Create mod is all about rotational energy and sort of transferring that into machines that can actually use the rotational energy in order to make our sort of crafting recipe. That probably wasn't the best explanation for it. As we sort of get into the mod, we can definitely figure things out a little bit better. If we combine 2 andesite alloys, we can get a shaft. So we'll go ahead and do that and get 8 shafts, as well as an additional 8 from the quest. Next up is cogwheels, which actually allow you to transfer your rotational energy, and all we need for that is to combine shafts with 1 oak plank for a regular cogwheel, and 2 for the large cogwheel. And from that, we get a few extra shafts and cogwheels, and same goes for that. Now, if you want to, you can actually craft a hand crank, which allows you to sort of just hold down right click and spin the machine yourself. Now, obviously, we don't want to do that, but we'll craft the hand crank anyway. Just like that. That way we can actually just complete the quest real quick. And there is actually a few ways of generating power. Like I mentioned before, we have the hand crank, which is manual power. We have water wheels, which allow you to convert the the sort of pressure from the water into energy. We have windmills, which basically do the same thing as the water wheels, but just with wind. And of course, we have the steam engines, which combine water and fire in order to generate steam, which can then be converted into rotational power. Steam engines are by far the best of the three. However, they take a few more components. The best power source to start off with is probably going to be the water wheels. We could do the windmills, but it's a little bit more complicated. We'll need to gather wool for that. And water wheels are basically just andesite and some planks, so I think we're going to go with that route. Alright, so we can go ahead and craft up a water wheel, if it'll let me. There we go, something like that. I'm not sure why, but I just can't seem to find the recipes from JEI, so that's kind of weird. Anyway, we have our water wheel now, and I'm just going to go ahead and place it down. I need to find a good place for this. Maybe, I think just down by the water here will probably work the best. So we are going to need to bring some water up to it. If you have 3 water sources touching the water wheel, it actually won't move. What we're going to need to do is try to get it so that the water is flowing. We can do that pretty easily just by breaking out a couple blocks here. Here we go, and there we go. It started to spin already. Now, if you've played the older versions of Create, it is important to note that you don't actually need all sides touching water anymore. You just need 3. Another thing that we can do is actually convert this into a large water wheel. There is a little bit of a difference between the large ones and the small ones. I think the large ones just have a little bit higher capacity, meaning that they generate just a little bit more stress units than the smaller one. And I think they just look a little bit better overall. Yeah, that looks pretty nice. And if you have different wood types, you can right-click it onto there, and it'll actually change the color of the water wheel. I believe it works the same for the small ones, but I don't quite remember. Now that we have a little bit of stress units actually generating, I think it's about time that we started working on getting some new machines. By the way, I'm just gonna quickly claim the rewards from this, and we do actually get a small water wheel and large water wheel as a quest reward for that, so that's pretty good. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and head down to the machines section in the quest book. In order to craft most machines in the Create mod, we're gonna need an andesite casing. Crafting andesite casings is pretty easy. All we need to do is place a log down on the ground, right-click it with an axe, and then right-click it with an andesite alloy. This process can be completely automated later on, however we're not quite to that stage yet. And we can go ahead and claim our rewards from that, and that's 4 more andesite casings. Not too bad of a deal. So there's a few machines here that we're absolutely going to need if we want to get into the Create mod. The first of which is the mechanical press, which basically allows us to flatten out certain items. Mostly ingots. It'll convert iron ingots and gold ingots into the plate versions. And all we're going to need for the mechanical press is a shaft, andesite casing, and a block of iron. Alright, just going to craft a block of iron real quick, and that should be everything that we need to make this press. If I get the ingredients in there, here we go. There is our first Create machine. We can claim our rewards from that, and we get 9 iron and 1 gold ingot. And one more thing that we are going to need as well is a depot. It's not fully necessary, but it does allow us to place items on top of it, which can then be pressed down by the press. So I'm down by my water wheel now, and what I want to do is actually create a little bit more room for these extra water wheels that we recently obtained. And I'm basically just going to do the same thing here, where I just fill in the water and then carve it back out. A little something like this. Now I believe that these water wheels can have 5 water sources touching at the bottom, but I think that 3 does the exact same, so just in case you're curious about that. Alright, that should be 2 more slots there. And we should just be able to place them both on like that. They are different colored though, and so yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and right click those, convert those into the oak log versions. But for now, I just want to sort of test how this works. So what I'm going to do is place my mechanical press on the side here. You can see that there's a sort of square thing that resembles the shaft in the middle of the water wheels, so we can just place our mechanical press on there, and the rotational power continues to go through it. Now, this mechanical press is fully operational. We need to place either a regular block or a depot with a 1 block space in between. And I'm going to throw an iron ingot on there. Now, initially, this is going to be extremely slow because we're using the basic 3 block rotation from the water wheels. And one thing to note, if you're just playing with the create mod, this will create a different looking iron plate. Don't be too worried about this. Because we're on the All the Mods 10 mod pack, it has an ore dictionary version of the iron plates. If we want to actually speed this up, we're going to need to use some cogwheels. There's another method that we can use later on as well. It's a little bit more complicated, and it's going to require brass in order to actually do that. So we're still in the beginning stages, so we're just going to have to figure things out on our own here. So we have a few of these larger cogwheels and a few of the smaller ones. Now I'm going to go ahead and place I always mix this up. I believe it's going to be a large cogwheel followed by a small cogwheel. Now that should be spinning twice as fast as this one. Now we can go ahead and, oops, get bumped by the llamas there. And another trick that we can use in order to make this a little bit more compact. So we're going to place the large cogwheel there. And if you right click a cogwheel with a casing, it'll actually block the power from transferring out on this side. So we can actually hook this up here. Now, as you can see, as we kind of go down in the chain, the cogwheels start spinning a little bit faster. We're going to need a pretty long chain of these actually going out. But yeah, it shouldn't be too difficult. And you'll know that you're at basically the top speed when this one's spinning really fast. And if you try to place any more on top of it, even if we go like that, I guess we're not quite at the max, but this one will pop off if it goes past the maximum speed for this. So I think this is more than plenty for what we need. I might even back it off. And the math for this is a little bit complicated. I don't remember it off the top of my head. But essentially, the more machines that we have, the more stress that's actually going to put on our system here. And speeding up these gears actually does add stress to it. Basically, it multiplies the amount of stress that each machine takes in order to run, and just makes it a little bit more complicated. So now we can go ahead and test out our press here again. Make sure it's working, and that was so much faster than it was before. And one last thing that I want to do real quick before I end this episode is I want to craft a pair of engineer's goggles. So basically we just need string, glass, and a gold plate, which is made in the mechanical press. And what these allow you to do is to view the stress units and the capacity of your machines from Create. So as you can see, we're generating 512 from 2 of these. Looks like one of them actually didn't fully function. Let's see if I can change that. And that one should be... Yeah, I'm not too sure why. I guess all the water is gone from here. Hold on. I think I can fix this. Like that. There we go. So yeah, that one is now generating 512 as well. And our mechanical press is using 1024 at its current speed. If we were to move it to a different location in our system here, a little bit lower down, let's put it here. Hopefully that won't mess things up too bad. Here we go. You can see because of the lower speed, it's actually only using 256. So it's not even using half of one of these water wheels. As we add more machines to this system, obviously we're going to need to generate more power, but for now, this will do for us. But I think that's all we're going to need for now, though. But this episode is getting a little bit long, so yeah, I think I'm going to end things there. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll catch you next time. Peace.